Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jay.
And I'm Rodney.
And we are LATD, aka Look at the Details. How y'all boy doing, man? We got the first
sir,
video up in here. Let's go, bro. Let's get this. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me calm down.
Hey, nah, you good.
Yes, sir. I'm just excited.
It's a great moment.
Yes, sir. We was excited, bro. We waited months and years to get all this done. All up ready for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So what our channel is all about, we all about that pop culture life. You want to explain a little bit more, my brother?
Yes, sir. So basically anything that has to do with pop culture, whether it be gaming, TV, movies, anime, we're pretty much here for it.
Exactly, bro. We here for y'all's energy, bro. We here for y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know,
sir.
this is all we all got. We all got inspired by our boy Pat. Rest in peace to him, man. You know, he was out the mud on Coastal.
Yes, sir.
Coastal.
So the backstory is, our friend Pat. Rest in peace to him, of course. Me and him, while we were in college at Coastal Carolina, we started the Out the Mud podcast. That's spelled with a D-A. And it aired on Coastal Radio. It was... we started in probably late 2020 going to 2021, his senior year. And then once he graduated, I took over for my senior year. And so he would call in and we would do the show like every Friday or so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right. I was a guest star on there one time. You know what I'm
times.
saying? So at our social medias, you can catch us at King J 1112 and at
Rodney Gillespie. That's with, I can't even remember how many like I's and E's it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but it's all good though. But yeah, those are our Instagrams and TikToks as well. You know what I'm saying? We posting on TikTok too.
We're gonna start.
We're gonna start. LATD843. You can follow us on Instagram there as well. And let's get into it. So one topic we're gonna talk about is really what got us into film and pop culture in general.
Just kind of taking y'all through the various topics that we plan to speak on and just our background and our knowledge with them. So first one being film.
Film, yeah. I'm gonna be real. What kind of got me into film was Star Wars back in the day. Me and my older cousin, named Ronnie James. Shout out to you, Ronnie. God bless, bro. All I know is he used to kind of babysit me around a lot. And so we would play like Lego Star Wars. And I started thinking like, man, what's this about? What's that about? He would tell me all about Darth Vader.
Back in the day.
Exactly.
I still have it actually.
Word? Mm-hmm. Same. I got
Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy.
The Skywalker saga and everything. So what we would do, we would play Lego Star Wars all day. This was around the time of the prequel trilogy with Episode 1, Phantom Menace, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, mind you, I actually saw Revenge of the Sith back in the day when Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker were fighting. I just didn't know what I was watching.
Same.
So, yeah, that's really what got me into. It got me into everything, and I love Star Wars. Boba Fett fans, comment down below. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what got me. But the movie that I watched that really made me fall in love with film as well was Training Day.
Okay.
By Anton Fuqua.
One of my favorite movies.
Exactly. Just like it's not your standard hood movie, hood genre or crime drama and stuff like that. It was really like all the intricacies, like everything wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, Denzel Washington performance at the end, like you can't King Kong ain't got no
we all know the monologue.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like everything, like especially Alonzo Harris as like a villain. Everybody looking around, like, cause they hate this guy. You know what I'm saying? And
the performance, yeah,
the performance really like
he definitely earned his Oscar.
Right, and then exactly. But I kind of wish that he would have got an Oscar for Malcolm X. But it's kind of funny how when he's an evil cop, he gets Academy. So it's it's just like that's one of the biggest ones for me. Especially because like how Anton Fuqua, another one of my favorite directors, who made Equalizers 1 through 3. He made the Magnificent Seven, which I got a theory about the Magnificent Seven.
Actually, it's a very underrated movie.
Oh yeah. The only problem is with that movie is that you don't really know much about the characters' backstories, but I digress.
Yeah.
But like he like really wrote Alonzo as like this big figure, as if like everything Alonzo did was calculated. Like, he planned weeks for all that stuff to happen. And everything that you couldn't tell if he was lying to Jake, and really Jake being like a little like a parallel to the audience. We couldn't tell if he was lying to us. We couldn't tell if he was lying to Jake and telling him like, oh, you're going to be a part of the crew if you do this, that, and the third. But the thing is, if you would have taken the money from Roger's house, you know, that would have been something that he had on him. So, but yeah, that's just really one movie that I got that I love to date. Yeah,
I would say, for me, I'll say the main movie because growing up, of course, I was
Oh, good.
Growing up, I was a big Star Wars fan, of course. Those were some of the first movies that I really fell in love with. But I would say what really made me fall in love with like filmmaking as like a craft, I would say was Pulp Fiction. I would say Pulp Fiction definitely was the movie that made me start to see film in a different light. Aside from it just being, you know, action and just shooting them up and just comedy, it was the first movie that really made me start to look at the characters, like analyze their motivations, the performances, the way that the movie was written, the dialogue. It was like the first movie that really made me like study film on a deeper level. It was that, and at the time when I was getting into it, I was, I think about 12 or 13, maybe 14. And then that was around the time Django came out. So, you know, that was another Quentin Tarantino movie. My favorite, still to this day, my favorite Quentin movie of all time. But I'll say Quentin Tarantino in general was the person that really made me start to fall in love with film as, you know, a passion and as like sort of an art, you know.
Right.
I'll say even before that, Indiana Jones is my favorite film franchise of all time. But I love those movies back in the day more so for the action and for everything, more so than, you know, the way it was made. But like going back now with the, you know, appreciation that I have for film with like Pulp Fiction, I look back on those movies, I realize just how well made they really were. So yeah, I would definitely say Pulp Fiction, Django. It's another movie. Star Wars, yeah, I would say is definitely there, but I kind of enjoy that for the same reason I enjoyed Indiana Jones.
Right.
So yeah, really it was those main two, I would say.
Now, what about video games though?
Okay.
Name your top 5 right now, off the top of your head.
I don't think I can. You know what? I say Uncharted 3. Uncharted 3. Last of Us is my favorite game of all time. I have a Last of Us tattoo, so that should let you know how much I love that. No. So Last of Us is my favorite game of all time. Uncharted 3 is in the top 5. The original Metal Gear Solid is in my top 5 probably. Mass Effect 2 is up there. And then I don't know. Like, that's top 4, right?
Yeah.
I said 4?
Yeah, you said 4.
Okay, yeah. I can name a bunch of my other favorite video games of all time, but they're not in that top 5. I'll say Devil May Cry 3, God of War 2018. Probably God of really the entire original trilogy of God of War. Prince of Persia, I'll say the original Prince of Persia. Sands of Time, I'll say. What's another one?
That was about 7.
Huh?
It was like 7.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Nah, but go off, bro.
I'd say, yeah, those. That's another. I can think of at least one more.
Red Dead 2?
The original Red Dead. Yeah, the original Red Dead is actually in my top 10. And GTA 5 too.
Yeah, nah. For me, I'd have to say, I'm going based off of I'm sorry, I'm just joking. Based off like franchises and everything, because like Red Dead 2 is easily in my top 3 favorite games of all time. Like just all the stuff you can do in it.
The attention to detail.
The attention to detail. Last of Us is in my top 5 as well. I finished Last of Us Part 2 the other day. Y'all, for all the fans out there, I said mine, I'm tripping. For all our fans out there that talk about they hate Last of Us Part 2, check yourself. Just because Joel died does. Oh shoot!
This is a spoiler.
Spoiler. Just because Joel died does not make the game automatically bad. Like the game is absolutely phenomenal.
It is.
Is it as good as the first one? Yes. That's up for interpretation.
Storytelling, gameplay, graphics, everything is like on a different level in that game.
Right. Another one is I said Red Dead 2, Last of Us. Another one is for me was the Sly Cooper franchise. Like Sly Cooper's 1 through 4. I loved those games when I was like. That's another game me and my boy Ronnie had played. We played Sly Cooper's 1 through 3. I'm like, man, this is fire. I need to play these games more often. That's why I bought a whole new PS3 just to play them. Just to play them.
I never got around to them, but Jack and Daxter, as far as that era, is one of my favorites too.
Ratchet and Clank, another one. Another good franchise was that I played. Devil May Cry 1 through. We can X out 2, but
the original Devil May Cry, yes, and Devil May Cry 3. I love 4. I love 5. I never beat 2. 2 is the one game in the franchise I never beat because I've beaten all the other main games, 1 through 5, and I did beat DMC Devil May Cry. Very underrated game.
Yeah.
People don't like the story or like that interpretation of the characters, but the gameplay was amazing.
Oh yeah, that's one thing about Devil May Cry. You can never go wrong with the gameplay. Was always phenomenal.
Like in Devil May Cry, they got to 5. They got to a point where you could surf on rockets, just like how Dante did in the cutscene in 3 when he was fighting Cerberus.
One thing about the Devil May Cry series, other than 2, that really made me love it is the fact that it got better with every entry. Like when they introduced Nero in Devil May Cry 4, I hated the guy, but I thought the gameplay was cool. He was just so moody and edgy, and
he improved in 5.
And then I was just about to say that Devil May Cry 5, he's super cool. Like in Devil May Cry 5, like the way you can grab the enemies and stuff and use his different arms and mechanical arms and stuff like that. That was cool to me.
5 pretty much was just everything fans loved about Devil May Cry, and that was pretty much it.
Cranked up to 11.
Literally, like the gameplay, the bosses, the story. I'd say it's arguably the best story in the franchise. Other than 3.
I 100% agree because 3 is where pretty much like a prequel.
Yeah, 3 is the very beginning chronological. Because what it used to be, it was 3 was the first one. 1 was after that. That's 10 years later.
2?
4 was after 1. 4 was after 1. And then 2 was at the end.
Oh.
And then now 5 is at the end.
Okay.
Because 5 is a sequel to... 5, yeah.
5 is a sequel to 3. It's a sequel to 3 and 4. Because that's when they revealed that... Spoiler alert! This game came out like, almost 10 years ago. 5 years ago.
Devil May Cry 5 did, yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. So that game came out, like you said, 5 years ago, so it shouldn't be spoilers by now. This is that Virgil and Nero are father and son, respectively. So Virgil is Nero's father, so yeah it kind of trails 3 and 4.
I gotta look at the timeline again, but generally it was 3 was the first one, chronologically. Like I said, 1 was either right before or right after. I can't remember. I can't remember. 3, 1, 4, then 2, and then 5.
But and keep in mind, as we didn't mention Spider-Man and other games, because most of the time I like to keep comic book characters like exclusively to the comics. So you're not going to really hear me say like Spider-Man's 1 and 2 are in my top 5 favorite video games of all time because they're not from a video game originally. You know what I'm saying? But Spider-Man is easily my favorite character. That's thought I'd throw you out.
Spider-Man, the game, I would say Spider-Man 2 so far is one of my favorite games of this generation. And I would say that the first one, Marvel's Spider-Man, Insomniac, is one of my favorite games of that generation.
Same. Like, I remember so fun fact, the PS5 literally came out on my birthday. On my 21st birthday. Yeah, my 21st birthday. So I'm thinking like, so I had to help take care of my grandmother and everything. Rest in peace, Grandma. Love you. You know what I'm saying? So she would be upstairs. She's upstairs in the living room chilling. I'm downstairs in the sunroom, just playing, like getting ready for the game to get here. So I'm standing on the front door. Yes, I'm 21 at the time. I still love video games. Anyway, so
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Bet. So when they show up, it shows up at like 10 a.m. I'm like, Grandma, you gonna have to sit here and be quiet a little bit because I got to play my game and stuff like that. She talked about, give me something to eat. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go get you something to eat real quick. She had dementia. God bless her. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I probably shouldn't say that. But it's like, The game's on. I close the door. Next thing you know, she calls me again. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going back. But as for everything else, though, I told my mom, don't call me. I told my sister, don't call me. My uncle, don't call me. If you need help with anything, ask each other, because I'm not coming down here. Like, the PS5 just came out. My PS4 overheated. I'm like, bruh, unless you my grandma, don't call me. Don't call me for nothing while I'm down here playing my game. Mm-hmm. And that was about it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. One thing about games is that it kind of like, a lot of people don't really understand is that a game, when you get it, oftentimes it's like a memory is attached to it. Like I remember still to this day, I still remember getting BioShock. I still remember getting Batman Arkham City, which, you know what, I'm tripping because Batman Arkham City is my second favorite game of all time. My very, very close second favorite game of all time. So yeah, I remember getting Arkham City when it came out. I remember getting Assassin's Creed 3 when it first came out. BioShock Infinite. You know, Last of Us. Mm-hmm. So it's like I still remember like the release dates to some of these games. Batman Arkham City, October 18, 2011.
Right.
Shit. Last of Us, June 14, 2013. Yeah.
You remember the date?
Yeah. Yeah, no, because these games were extremely important to me and still are to this day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, like gaming, people don't understand like the kind of memories that are often attached to these games. Like I look at some of these games, like even some of these old save files, I look through and be like, man, I remember where I was at in my life when I beat this game and when I was playing it.
Right. Same. I'll be looking through old screenshots I took and trophies I won.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, man, where did the times go?
Yeah.
Now that we adults, times is okay. All right, I ain't gonna say it for everybody. Times ain't that rough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we adults now. We can't play the game as much as we can, as much as we want to, but we still find time anyway. And sorry for the long grandma story, but
no, that's fine.
But it's like that's the thing. Like my grandmother, I really tried. She got me into video games when I was younger too. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of my old games was her just drilling me with math tutorials. So that's why I feel like I should bring her up. So I tried to show her the game one time. She talked about cut that off. I'm like, okay, cool. But grandma, this is Mario Kart. I don't care. Cut that off. Okay, cool. But it's like Mario Kart is another game. As a matter of fact, is another game that I love.
Yeah, I loved Mario Kart as a kid. I had Mario Kart DS back in the day. Mm-hmm. I had that, and I had what other Mario? I had New Super Mario Brothers. No, I didn't have that. I had I can't remember. It was Mario 64, but it was on DS. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had that. I probably still have that game actually. I still have my DS. I still have my PSP. I still have my original copy of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on PSP back in 2010.
I'm gonna be real. Going back to the movies and kind of coinciding with the video games, some movies and video games should not be made into movies. That's another thing we talk about too on here is anime as well. Now that I mentioned that, rest in peace Akira Toriyama.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, the world lost a legend that day.
Yeah, and I know he was mad when Dragon Ball Evolution was made. Boy,
I don't think he was mad, but he was probably just disappointed.
No, he was mad.
I never read any article or anything about that.
I didn't have to. I know he was mad. Like, how you gonna do my baby like that? Like,
yeah, no, that definitely was not. We don't talk about that as Dragon Ball fans. You know, I'm me being a diehard Dragon Ball fan. I have Goku and Vegeta tatted on my leg. Super Saiyan 4 at that.
And from the worst show.
GT?
But the best concepts of characters I've ever seen.
The best transformation to this day. I stamp Super Saiyan 4 is still the best. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I wish it was canon.
I feel like they working around to it being canon.
Yeah, it's like the Shadow Dragon saga was easily my favorite saga of all of Dragon Ball GT.
I was about to say, because not all Dragon Ball.
No, nah, definitely not all Dragon Ball. The Cell saga was probably my favorite one. Like when Cell shows up as like this weird, like bug-like figure, which was a cool idea.
It almost was like horror in the way he was introduced.
And then he tells Piccolo, "I'm your brother." I'm like, King Piccolo, you got something explaining to do, my boy?
Now that's a conversation for a whole other day. We have to rank not only our favorite Dragon Ball characters, have to rank our favorite Dragon Ball sagas. And there's a few Dragon Ball experts I know that we can get that has guests for that.
Bet.
But save that for another day.
That's another extra video. Like and comment below if you want to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you look at the details, you know what I'm saying. Name of the show. Anime is really what a lot of people grew up off of. It's crazy because my mom she didn't like Dragon Ball, but she let me watch Naruto, which is by far the scarier show.
Definitely.
You want to elaborate? You tired, bro?
My mistake. My mistake. Work. But yeah, no. I would say Dragon Ball is I don't know, because I feel like Dragon Ball does have some imagery in it that is a little, especially if you read the manga, is a lot more violent than, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. Dragon Ball violence is definitely there, but Naruto's imagery is probably a little bit scarier. Yeah. Like sorcery and stuff like that.
Right. Like my favorite Naruto character is easily Kakashi. He has some of the best battles, like, of all time to me. Like him versus fighting Zabuza part one, and then fighting Zabuza and all the way in Shippuden around the Great Ninja War arc. But the scariest, and I'm gonna argue this. I really think Gaara had a worse life than Naruto ever did.
Yeah.
Cause the thing is, Naruto didn't have nobody, but he still at least had Iruka. He had Shikamaru, which is pretty much his best friend.
Sasuke.
I ain't counting that because Sasuke tried to kill my boy multiple times.
But it is stated, however much you don't like it, it is canon that they are best friends.
Right. Now.
No, they were best friends. They were best friends when they were all Team 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were considered to be best friends then.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, but they were rivals, but they had love for each other.
Right.
Because I remember when Naruto and Sasuke, like I remember seeing like previews of Naruto back in the day, and I would hear stuff like Naruto and Sasuke like hate each other, and I
probably
generally believe that.
Probably
but
first.
Yeah, because if you watch the show as it goes on, you see that they have a lot of camaraderie between each other. So I think that relationship that is a lot more exaggerated, because Shippuden, like later on, was when it was really one side, when Sasuke was Sasuke and Naruto still wanted to be his friend and everything, wouldn't let him go.
Right.
Now my favorite, I'd say one of, if not my absolute favorite fight in Naruto, at least Shippuden, I would say it was Sasuke and Itachi versus
I already know.
You already know.
Kabuto.
Yep, versus Kabuto. Yeah, because it was it Six Paths Kabuto? Or was it Sage Mode? It was Sage Mode Kabuto.
Which Orochimaru never got for some reason.
Yeah. Somehow. But yeah, Sasuke and Itachi versus Kabuto, that's easily one of my favorite fights, especially because of how it ended. And with Itachi like parting ways with Sasuke and everything, him finally like understanding the truth of like his insurrection or his betrayal. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of heartbreaking. In and of itself too. The fact that Danzo Danzo was it Hiruzen that pretty much made
it had to have been Hiruzen.
Yeah, it was Hiruzen that made Itachi.
Because he would have been the Hokage. Because I'm trying to think.
Fugaku.
Because it was the first Hokage was Hashirama. Tobirama, his brother, is the second. Third is Hiruzen. Fourth was Minato. Fifth was Tsunade. Sixth is Kakashi. Seventh is Naruto. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of felt bad for Itachi as a whole, mainly just because people. Okay, one thing people like to do is overhype Itachi, but
not to interrupt you. And then Danzo never technically. I don't think Danzo never technically became Hokage.
He's kind of like what Trump is now.
He was a Hokage candidate, but Sasuke killed him before he could become Hokage.
Right? Yeah. He was a candidate. Yeah.
The Kage Summit. That's when Sasuke first got That's when he first got Susanoo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's when he got the Eternal Mangekyo, I think.
Because he unlocked the Mangekyo. Yeah, the Eternal Mangekyo.
Mm-hmm.
He unlocked that when I can't remember the exact moment, but I know it was during that arc when he unlocked it. Because he had just got Itachi's eyes because Itachi. Would you say he killed Itachi, or would you say Itachi just died?
I think Itachi just died because if we're being real, if Itachi didn't have that like disease, he would have killed Sasuke, and it wouldn't have been a fight.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Orochimaru showed up, like, yes, I'm Sasuke now. I have his body. Pause. Mm-hmm. So there's no Diddy. So it's like. That dude Orochimaru was weird, bro. Like he was cool, but he was weird. Like it was like anyway, because you see when he took out the Totsuka blade and then immediately sealed him away, which he comes back later on. But you know, like I think Itachi would have easily beaten Sasuke, and it wouldn't have been that much of a fight.
I mean, he was, even by Uchiha standards, he was a prodigy.
Mm-hmm. So,
both of them were.
Right, and one thing I keep in mind is like Kakashi and Itachi were really similar. Yeah. At least at first when they were kids.
When they were kids, yeah. But Itachi, he kind of retained his kind-hearted nature. Mm-hmm. Truly, obviously, you know, it was painted that he was this evil person, but Itachi to me still kind of retained like that kind-hearted aspect to his character. But Sasuke was cold after that.
Oh yeah,
Sasuke was never. Sasuke came around more and got more lighthearted after him and Naruto fought.
Right.
Now Sasuke is a lot more like lighthearted, and he isn't as cold or as this. I mean, he's still not around, but he's more. He's more loving than he used to be. He's more warm now.
Right, I agree. And the thing is about Kakashi is that despite all the things that he went through, that's why he's my favorite character. Despite all the things that he went through, he kept coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like his dad.
Even with Obito.
Mm-hmm. Even with Obito.
Sakamo, yeah.
Sakamo, mm-hmm. I'm like, golly. Like this dude has been through a lot. But the reason why, going back to what I was saying about Gaara having a worse past than Naruto, because like I said, Naruto at least had friends. And he had Iruka at the time. He had Shikamaru. Him and Shikamaru were more friends than him and Sasuke were. And I'm standing on that. Fight me. Not really. But
I don't remember Naruto being an outcast for the most part, though.
Yeah, no, but he was.
In the like the beginning, like I don't remember Naruto anybody much caring for him at all.
Right, but except for like Iruka, but that's But
Hiruzen.
Hiruzen
checked in on him.
Yeah, that's about all he did, checking up on him.
Yeah, which is funny because that was was Minato Hiruzen's
no.
Yeah, no, not his father.
Oh. No,
like was he his sensei?
No,
I didn't think so.
Hiruzen's students were.
I think Minato might have been in there.
No.
Because it was Minato, and then Minato was Kakashi's in them.
Maybe.
Wasn't he?
This is probably something we can look up later.
Yeah.
But this is why I say Gaara had a way where
because they were like the Team 7 before Sasuke and Naruto and Sakura and Kakashi.
Yep, you're right about that.
Because they have a picture that's like very similar to the Team 7 picture that they had.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Minato was Kakashi Sensei.
Minato's was Kakashi Sensei.
Yeah, with Ren and Obito.
Right, which I don't like Obito. People give Obito a lot of flack for being.
I like Obito.
Yeah, I like Obito too, but they say he's a simp. I'm like,
Wasn't Naruto?
No, Naruto was no simp.
Yeah, he was. Was Sakura?
Sakura was a simp.
At first, he was. He definitely was.
All right, bro. We gonna.
He definitely was.
All right, I'm gonna call cap on that. But Sakura, people hate Sakura, but I don't. I get it though, because she's slaving over Sasuke. And she's like,
that was her whole character in Shippuden was really just her chasing after Sasuke.
She talking about
it was just her and Naruto chasing after Sasuke. That was basically all people remember Shippuden. You sideline all of the other characters. You sideline all of all the other teams. Neji, Lee, Gara, even 10-10, all of them.
Yeah.
They got some early, story arcs. When Asuma died, they got stuff like that. But after a while, it really just became the Uchiha.
Yeah, but what I was saying about Gara having a worse life than Naruto. Can I break this down?
You can.
Like I said, Naruto at least had people around him that semi-cared for him. Gara had people around him, too, that didn't care for him whatsoever. They treat this man like a pariah. His own dad tried to kill him 13 times. Mm-hmm. I think. Either way.
I gotta brush up on Naruto history. It's been a minute.
And the thing is, Gara, and then the only person who loved Gara was his uncle. Was his mom's brother, Yashimaru, I believe. His mom loved him, but she passed away at childbirth. Mm-hmm. His dad hated him because of that and tried to kill him because as an experiment. Treat his son like an experiment, bro. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, the only and his dad had to tell the only person that loved Gara, Yashimaru, his uncle, pretty much had to lie to Gara and say that he never loved him and that she died, that his mom died hating this world and hated him, and that's when Gara went all crazy. He couldn't fall asleep because Shukaku hated him too. Shukaku was gonna kill him in his sleep. Or unalive him in his sleep.
It's been so long since I've watched.
Bro, what? I watched the whole tuning exam up and down, bro.
I haven't seen the tuning exams in years. I haven't seen any Naruto content in a long time now. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. It's just been a long time since I really dived into it.
Yeah, same. But I'm just saying, like Gara scared me as a kid. Gara scared me, bro.
Especially when he fights Lee. That was one of my favorites. That's another one of my favorite fights. That was back in the day when it wasn't just Naruto and Sasuke fighting all the important people. That was back when you got stuff like a Lee versus a Gara. Mm-hmm. You had stuff like that. You had Naruto versus Neji. That's still an all-time fight. And then
Neji, man, rest in peace, Neji, man. Like he ain't deserve to go out like that. Another one of my favorite shit was Shikamaru. All of Shikamaru's fights were dope too.
Yeah.
In the tuning exam, like when he fought that hidden sound girl, and then. Got the shadow possession and then leaned back and she hits her head on the wall. I was like, golly, I'm like, this man is a chess player. And then he had all that effort to try to get Tamari, and then he just ends up quitting at the end.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm like, this dude is a goat. Yeah. Clap it up for Chicago.
But speaking on that though, weren't we supposed to elaborate on TV as well?
That too. What you been watching lately, bro?
I'll say personal bias, not necessarily. Do you want to go by personal bias or do you want to go by that quality?
Both.
Personal bias for me, growing up, my favorite shows were Ed, and Eddie, regular show. Yeah, those two. Those are still my two favorite shows of all time to this day. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going by quality, like what's the greatest show I've ever seen in my life? Breaking Bad, without a doubt. It's not even close. It's Breaking Bad and everything else. Now, I've watched plenty of shows in my life. I don't think that there's any show that's on the level. I hear Sopranos. Game of Thrones was in that conversation.
The Wire.
Yeah. Well,
did you watch The Wire?
I have not.
All right, cool. I'm gonna tell you, some of my favorite shows growing up are really all the superhero shows like Justice League, Static Shock, Fillmore. Anybody remember Fillmore?
People remember the meme. They don't remember the show like that.
Like Codename Kids Next Door was another one.
Yeah,
another one. What was another? Kick Buttowski, Suburban Daredevil.
I never really was a huge fan of that. It was like 2008 to like 2000.
Something like that.
Something around there.
Yeah, and then, that was pretty much it. Like, I'm gonna be real. I watched a little bit of Ed, and Eddie.
My favorite show to this day.
Regular show. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, bro.
Really?
I like regular show, but truthfully, regular show like was just something to watch. So,
regular show was my everything as a kid.
So let me sidetrack for a second. So we got a rating scale too, kind of inspired by Double Toasted. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Double Toasted, y'all a big inspiration to us. Thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? Chris, Martin, Julian 1 and Julian 2, because it's 2 Julians and stuff. So our ratings, the rating system that we got is called the movie rating system or show rating system. It goes from best to worst, from Flawless Victory, then you got Heat, Smooth, then you got Something to Watch or Walk Out, and then you can just say that this show, movie, video game can go to straight, go to where the devil lives at, bro. Go to hell. So it's like, I should have said that, but it's like, but yeah, that's a rating system. And boy, there's a lot of movies this year that could go,
Like, we'll get into those though for sure.
But yeah, no. But yeah, so this is pretty much gonna be like our last topic. But TV show wise, like I've watched a lot of The Wire as well. I love that show. Breaking Bad, my boy Rod.
Like I said, I believe it's the greatest show ever made, at least that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a really good one because Walt.
Masterpiece.
I hate Walt, but he's a great character.
One of my favorite characters of all time.
Like shows y'all need to get into is like Power, Snowfall, like I said, The Wire. A couple of more shows that I've watched that I really enjoy to this day. Those are like high heats to flawless victories for me. But cartoon wise, Invincible.
You know what? Yeah, that's actually we might have to like do the difference between like our favorite cartoon shows and just like live action or whatever. We might need to break it down by genre.
Bet.
If anything.
Bet.
But yeah, no, Invincible is another one of my favorites. Bet. Another one of my favorite shows is The Boys. You already know.
Oh yeah, The Boys, bro. We gonna have a whole series breakdown on that one.
We're gonna be reviewing season 4 episode by episode.
Oh, bro, and we got new movie reviews coming up too. We got comment down below.
Yes, sir.
We got a whole bunch coming out. We got game reviews, movie reviews, comic reviews.
Yeah.
Show reviews, anime reviews, man. We got reviews galore. We got news for y'all coming out soon.
Yes, sir.
And that's really about it for me. What you got, bro?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I think that's a good little introduction to who we are. Our mission statement, I guess you could say.
Yes,
the purpose of the podcast.
Yes, sir. So I've been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
And we'll look at the details, bro. Love y'all. Peace.
Yes, sir.